to spirulina, which is a type of microalgae that's super nutritious and easy to grow. In terms of nutrition, spirulina has more antioxidants and anti-inflammatory activity in a 3-gram serving than in 5 servings of fruits and vegetables. In addition, it has 5,100% more iron than in spinach, and has more protein than in beef and soy, potentially making it the most protein-dense food on the planet.
In terms of materials you'll need in addition to your starter culture, you'll obviously need an aquarium or some sort of container to hold your culture in. If you can find a circularly shaped container, that's even better because it allows for better flow, and if you use an iced tea dispenser, that can be helpful for harvesting. You'll also need an aquarium pump and tubing that attaches to that. The pump will connect to bubblers that run along the edges of the tank on the bottom. I've heard negative reports about using air stones because they leach weird tasting stuff into the water, so don't use those unless you know for sure that they're non-toxic. And also, make sure to get tube connectors, otherwise you won't be able to put everything together. You'll need pH strips to check if it's safe to eat, and lots of nutrients to keep the spirulina happy. For harvesting, a fine mesh filter cloth will be very, very useful, and the finer this is, the better. Some optional materials are an aquarium heater, thermometer, artificial light, and plug-in timer. Unless you live in an especially cold or dark place, you won't need these. For the lid of the aquarium, I laser cut a square along with some L shapes out of a clear plexiglass, which I then fused together using nail polish remover to create a raised lip and allow for airflow. Then, after filling my 2 tanks with filtered water, I poured in my macronutrient and micronutrient mediums. Both of these I got from a local spirulina grower, but they can be purchased or even mixed yourself. The right medium is vital to the health of your spirulina. There are many different types you can use. The most common is called the Zaruk medium, but there are lots of variations of that, and some people even use seawater. Spirulina grows best at a pH between 9.5 and 11, but when you're first starting out and it's lower, that's okay too, because it'll rise. The ratio of spirulina to growth medium should be around 1 to 20, but as you can see in my 2 tanks, they were a little bit different and that didn't make a huge difference. After filling my tanks, I was left with a bunch of starter culture that I didn't need, and since they were really dense, I decided to just harvest from them. Harvesting is really simple. You just pour the spirulina through a fine mesh cloth. This is a screen printing cloth, and you place that on some sort of strainer. This is a steamer, and then you just wait for the water to drip through, or you can help it along by squeezing it. When I harvested my spirulina from the actual tank, I used something called a sachi stick, which is basically just a disc attached to a ruler. This is really easy to make at home. Once you can't see the disc anymore, the ruler can tell you how dense it is. In general, it's best to harvest at a few centimeters of density. This one here was 2 centimeters, which is just a little tiny bit too dense. The liquid that remains can be poured back in the tanks because it still contains a ton of nutrients, and if you have more nutrients at home, you can add those as well to supplement. And there you have it, your green gold.
Now that you have the spirulina, that's just the beginning. There are so many ways you can use it, from smoothies to popcorn to even hot dog buns. People have used spirulina for making bioplastics, which you can also do at home, or face masks, another fun craft. Spirulina truly has so many ways it can be used. And the great thing about fresh spirulina is that unlike dry spirulina, it doesn't have a strong flavor at all. I truly hope this video was helpful to you and you learned a lot about spirulina and are excited to try growing it yourself. If you have any questions, I'll leave my socials down below so you can contact me, and have a great day!